It's us.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, it's not no new fights. It's actually an old rivalry that I just, looking back on, I thought it was one of the best compelling stories in combat sports history. And that's between Alex Piera and Isarel Adesanya. I think it's a weird one. So I just wanted to discuss it for this video. Maybe y'all know and learn something that you didn't know about their fights previously. So let's get into it. So before the rivalry in the UFC actually started back in the day in Glory Kickboxing, Isarel Adesanya was a great striker, precision puncher, and he had a unique style. He's a good traditional kickboxer. In Alex Pereira, he was also in Glory Kickboxing. He was known for his power and punching ability. And they actually had their first encounter, like I said, Glory Kickboxing, and Alex Piera was able to defeat Adesanya by unanimous decision. I think it was a close fight. They gave it to Alex Piera. I've heard a bunch of people say, "Oh, that's wrong." Um, Probably should have been a tie, to be honest. And then in the second fight, it's a year later. The first fight was in 2016, Glory Kickboxing. And then a year later, they had a rematch, 2017, and Isarel Adesanya was winning the most of the rounds in the fight. And then closer to the end, Alex Pereira was able to land a knockout blow and send him 2-0 in you know, in the rivalry. And also, one funny thing, it's kind of crazy, but Alex Pereira's son was trolling Isarel Adesanya, and like after the fight, he was like laid on the floor acting like he was dead. And just remember that because that will be coming back later in this. So then after losing to Alex Piera, Isarel Adesanya ended up deciding to transfer into MMA, and he eventually got into the UFC. So he eventually climbed the ranking and became the champion. And then a little bit later, Alex Piera eventually decided to do the same transition. He thought if Isarel Adesanya could do it, so can I. So he transitioned into MMA, fought 1 or 2 normal MMA fights, and then got an offer to fight in the UFC because Isarel Adesanya already beat the whole division. There was no one beating him, and his style became boring. So they brought in Alex Piera, and Alex Piera had a couple, I think 1 or 2 fights maybe before he got the title fight. So at this point, Isarel Adesanya is champion again, but this time in the UFC, and Alex Piera is coming to get his belts from him. And the first match in the UFC was on November 12th, 2022, 281, UFC 281, Madison Square Garden. And just like the last few fights, Isarel Adesanya was winning on the scorecards, beating him technically, and he almost knocked him out in the first round at one point, but Alex Pereira was able to hold in and survive the round. And I think it was round 4 or 5. Round 5, Alex Pereira ended up backing him up on the ropes, doing massive leg kicks to him the whole fight, and ended up um, not knocking him out, but the referee had to step in, technical knockout. Alex Pereira, became the champion, and Israel was like, "Oh, I was fine," but I mean, either way, it is what it is. That's what the ref said. So at this point, it's 3-0. Actually, yeah, it's 3-0. So on April 8th, 2023, the rematch happened on UFC 287. Isarel Adesanya was challenging Alex Pereira for his title back, and the fight started. First round, it was Alex Pereira was winning. He was actually going crazy in the first round. I thought was beating him, made it look easy, and then in the second round of the second fight, Isarel Adesanya, I think it was like legit the exact same thing as the first fight. Hit him with this almost the same combination, and Alex Pereira was back on the ropes, and he knocked him out. He was out cold, and he did his signature bow and arrow finishing, celebration on Alex Piera. And then even his kid, he went found the kid that trolled him in the second fight and laid down on the floor, and the kid was crying in the crowd. So at the end, Piera had the broader advantage historically with the wins, but the final one went to Isarel Adesanya with the symbolic revenge in the UFC rematch. And I think that's going to be the end for the beef at this point. It's been like 2 years since then. Alex Piera has moved up to heavyweight, and he actually ended up getting the heavyweight championship belt, and recently, at the beginning of this year, lost it, and he's challenging for it back in 2 weeks. I think he's going to try to get it back. While Israel Adesanya went on to fight Strickland, lost the belt, and then I think he fought DDP for the belt, and I think he lost that one too. But both of them great fighters, great rivalry. I was so entertained throughout the whole UFC event, and this is how I personally began to like Alex Piera, because this is when I finally got to see him really, especially in the second one. You got to see more of his character and his promotions and stuff. So it was a great rivalry, one of my favorites. But I want to say thank you for watching this video, and hope y'all stick around for another one. Like and subscribe. Thank you.